I feel like we should race them.
Oh!
What's up everyone, welcome back to One Strange Adventure and welcome to the next video. Today's video, I am sitting here with Todd from Switch It Up.
Switch It Up.
Switch It Up. And if you haven't seen their channel before, make sure you go check it out. The first thing that caught my eye with your channel was your intro. Like, it's the catchiest thing.
It was something that was created because I just wanted to have a way to encapsulate who we were in 20 seconds.
Yeah. Well, it definitely does that. And then for 20 seconds, for the next 3 days, you're humming it. So it's very catchy.
Yeah, and we didn't come up with that. We actually had some people from our church come up with the idea, so yeah.
I have Todd here today because we want to talk about, you know, we live the RV lifestyle and we are YouTubers.
Yes.
And so we want to talk a little bit about, like, what is it really like to live the RV life and also be a YouTuber on top of that. So it's one thing just to be in an RV and traveling around the country, but to spend your time actually documenting everything and editing and posting and then all of the social media that comes along with that on the back end.
Right.
You know, so we want to talk a little bit about that and get your take. So
Are
if
you talking good, bad, and ugly?
Everything.
Oh boy.
Let's do it all. So let's start off with a little bit of, just tell them about your channel.
Channel, Switch It Up. We sold everything and basically bought Grand Design Momentum. We have similar rigs. His is full paint. It's really nice. And if you're watching his channel, you actually know everything he's done to this. So sitting here, I feel like I'm sitting in the presence of awe.
Oh gosh.
But yes, no, we do. We have similar rigs. So Grand Design Momentum. We're traveling the United States. Our journey started January 11th of this year, and we hope to go 1 year. We're only living off savings and shooting YouTube videos. And the goal is that we had lost, each one of my wife and I lost a parent, and we used some of that money to decide to, instead of saying, you know, let's wait till we retire to travel and see the United States, we decided we're not getting any younger, let's just go do it now. So we jumped in an RV, and this is our journey for the next year. We're halfway through.
Yeah.
And I actually stumbled on Harold's stuff looking for different things, and he became a person I would turn to learn as our journey started. So
Cool.
That's how it worked.
Well, I appreciate you watching.
Well, of course.
When I found out he watched their channel, that was pretty cool moment for me.
It's fun because I watch your stuff. You started watching our stuff. We become like this little community.
And then we connected through Facebook.
Yep.
Right, and we started. We're in a common group, and so we talk about metrics and things like that, and we're really grateful to have met you guys here.
It's fun.
Totally unplanned, by the way. We just
we're
happened
4 doors
to be,
apart.
Yeah, we're 4 doors apart, and we happen to be in the same place in this huge country of anywhere we could be.
And we're in Kentucky.
We're in Kentucky together. So I mean that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so let me ask you this. So you are essentially full-time YouTubers.
Correct. I mean that's that. We both stepped away from our careers, and we're sharing the journey through the YouTube. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit, like, what have you learned along the way?
About YouTube?
About it all. Like, let's talk about RV life. Let's talk about YouTube. Like,
RV life.
What are some of the big learnings that the community can take away?
So RV life is one of those things where it is a dream of many people, and it was our dream too. And you have these grandiose ideas.
Yeah.
And that was my deal. It was like, man, I can't wait. We're going to get to all these campgrounds. We're going to meet people. We're going to be outside and stuff. And then you realize I don't meet as many people as I thought.
Yeah.
We're generally doing our stuff, and we're always leaving to go experience, because everything in the RV is your home. And your home, when you go to sleep, you may wake up the next day after moving and you walk out the door and go, where am I? Oh, I'm in Kentucky. Or I'm in another...
You think about it differently.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
like
fabulous.
When it turns from being a recreational vehicle for yourself for the weekends and it becomes your home, there's just a totally different mindset there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've experienced that too, and then, you know, even getting out and making sure that we're talking to people around and things like that. So we like to, if somebody's out and we have a
stop.
commonality, I'll stop and talk to people, and it's pretty good to get to know folks from different parts of the country.
Right.
So what did you do before YouTube? Like, what were you guys doing?
Nobody's really asked me that question.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't really shared. So I'm 51 years old, so most of my life I've been in the construction world. So I was basically an entrepreneur, ran like 2 or 3 different businesses, from house painting for a number of years to helping with roofing and general contracting. So that was primarily my focus for a majority of my working world.
Yeah. Was it hard to walk away from that?
No, I hated it.
No?
I think after 20 some plus years of doing the same thing, you all, like, here's the thing, we all have dreams, and through the course of time we get beat down and we do the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
And I love to help people. That's my passion, is just to help. I'll pour out to help anyone. But when you're doing the construction world, a lot of people just would beat you down, and I just got tired. And so your dreams of things that you would love to do kind of get put on the back burner, and they were reignited, unfortunately, with the passing of each one of us losing a parent, my wife losing her dad, I lost my mom. It was reignited, this idea of we are not getting any younger, time is going by. My wife always said, I wanted to see the whole United States, and we just, that's why.
So what made you decide to start documenting that?
Passion. I, unlike a lot of people, have made over 1,000 YouTube videos that you probably don't even know exist. And they were done through my channel just under my name. And it became a passion to share things about where we were going, vacations, building the memories with my kids and stuff. And so now we have that to look back on. And so we were doing it prior to RVLife. And then when we came into the RV, I just said, we just need to start a challenge, share our experiences, and then I brought that over.
Yeah.
So it was passion. I mean, some of our videos only had like 10 views, 20 views.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. Yeah.
So through YouTube, as a fellow creator, I know there are times that it can get frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely can, especially if you get hung up in the numbers or the analytics of YouTube.
Right.
So for you, how do you, when you experience something like that, how do you work through that? Like, what keeps the drive going?
The drive comes from a passion to share.
Yeah.
I think that's number one. You're going to, whether we're going to make money or not make money, I'm still going to make a video. And it drove my wife crazy for so long. It's like, we're really going to do a video on this? So I'm like, yeah, I just want to share. So that starts first. Then after you're doing that, when you upload, when you stop caring, and I mean this like legitimately, when you legitimately stop caring about the person that's watching the video, if they're going to be mad or upset, and you're just sharing your life, people are going to have opinions of you whether you like it or not. And so when you get past that and you just start sharing, man, it just opens up this whole thing. So like I said, I would make videos after videos after videos, knowing that I was playing for legacy. And that legacy was my grandkids. I have 6 grandkids now. We have videos back from 10 years ago that when I pass on, and they're coming up to 18, 19, 20 years old, and I might be gone at some point, then they can look back and say, wow, Grandma and Grandpa, they were really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
absolutely.
I didn't have that. I really wish I had that with my grandparents. And
yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, it would. But there is a lot of frustrations that come with that, and that's people's opinions.
Yeah.
I mean, you get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's interesting is that through our adventures, and we love to share the highlights of stuff, right?
Right.
But we have a lot of feedback that, like, we want to see everyday life.
Yes.
And so do you get the same thing?
Yes. And so we get the everyday life because the mystique of living in an RV, right? I mean, they want to see what it's really like. And so we share the things like, you just got the electric bikes and you love the bike.
Love them.
Yeah, and they're great. And so we're sharing these highlights, but the everyday life there goes, well, it can't be great all the time. And you're right, it's not great all the time. When things break or you can't move somewhere or your truck breaks down, there's a lot of things that happen. But I think what people want to see is they just want to see that you're real. They want to see.
That's right.
They don't want to see like, oh, this is for the camera and he's not really that person.
Right.
And after meeting me, do you think I'm still the same person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is. He is.
But I think
I
that's
would
what
say.
a lot of people. I mean,
You see it on video. You see him.
and that's the same with you,
Yeah.
right? I mean, when we watched like your video and I saw you, I felt like I already knew you.
Yeah,
So
that's actually a really cool part of YouTube
Yeah.
is when you meet somebody that you've been watching. You don't necessarily know everybody that's watching you, but a lot of people will know you and come up to you, and
Yeah.
that's such a cool thing.
So the first time I saw you, it's like, oh, there goes Harold. You drove by on the bike. I was like, hey, there he goes. And I was editing a video and I couldn't get out. But it's like I already knew who he was. I knew his personality. I knew your tone, your inflection. I don't know. It was just kind of cool. It was like, because all of a sudden you have a relationship with someone.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about things that you think are really hard about like keeping up with YouTube or shooting for YouTube. So what's the most challenging for you?
I would say coming up with ideas for content. This will be the number one thing. A lot of people.
And you post 3 times a week, so that's I can't imagine.
Yeah. So coming up with those ideas are probably the number one hardest. And then the second time, you know this as well as anyone because I watch your stuff and your edits are amazing. The editing time is the one thing you're like, you have to really love the edit.
Right.
And then you get into it. And then the last thing I think is really hard, when we can touch base on, are comments. Comments, like when you can get comments sometimes where you're like, this person hasn't even watched any of my other stuff, and they stumbled on this one video, and then they want to take the time to tell me how big of an idiot I am. I mean, legit, like I've had some very mean, and I'm 51 years old, and you're like, why did you even stop? And it's got to a point where now I don't really respond, I just delete it. Those are the hardest, is the opinions and then the editing and then coming up with the content ideas.
I hear you. Yeah, you try to balance, right? Like you gotta make it entertaining, exciting, but you also want to be able to show real life. And for me, sitting at my computer for 40 hours a week with my real job, like nobody wants to watch that. No. Just a time-lapse of Harold sitting at the desk.
But you've done so good. Like I didn't even realize the hour that you were working full-time. I think a lot of people think that when they watch your channel, they're like, oh, you know, he's getting out there and he's doing it. Because you do a really good job at the stuff that you're putting together.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. All right, so this last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to actually challenge Todd here because he bought an e-bike.
Yes, I did.
I have an e-bike.
Yes.
And mine's a foldable e-bike.
Yes.
And his looks like a dirt bike.
Oh, it is. It's a little off-road. It's a little extra.
I feel like we should race them.
Oh, are you saying this is like I've seen these on like YouTube, like boxing. Like instead of boxing, we're gonna do like a e-bike RV race. So am I supposed to accept such a challenge?
So, I mean, it's up to you. I can understand if you didn't want to.
Yeah.
But if you want to, I mean, we can race them. In fact, what I'd like to do is put the drone up in the air so it follows us.
Oh my gosh! Are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, he's going all out.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think? You think we should race the new bikes? He has a Himaway, and I have the Lectric XP 2.0. So, much smaller bike, but I think we're gonna test them out.
Are we gonna go across the grass?
Do you accept the challenge?
I accept the challenge.
No, I'm not going across the grass. Your tires are much bigger than mine.
I think we are creating YouTube history right now.
I don't know that they have been raced.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone take their e-bikes as far as creator challenge goes.
I don't know.
I think we're making history.
We might be. All right. Well, I'm gonna go get some things put up in the air, and we're gonna figure out what this looks like, and you guys are gonna see us start the race in 3, 2, 1.
Three, 2, 1.
We have our lovely spectators today.
Cheerleaders.
All right, well, Todd, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Yeah.
And just talking through your channel and your life. Make sure you go check out Switch It Up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click
We call that doing all the things over there.
Do all the things. A doer of all things, right?
A doer of all things is a person that subscribes, comments, likes.
And share.
And share.
Share is very important.
Especially in creator, like even in Harold's world, you have to realize that if you're watching this, if you hit subscribe, all it's doing is allowing the algorithm to say, you know what? Harold's doing a great job, and then other people can find his videos.
Yep.
And we say that is because, look, subscribing's free.
And
you can always unsubscribe later and then subscribe again if you really, so I think it just really helps the creator out. And I don't think people really understand that part. So I thank you for having me over here.
Absolutely.
I think it's fun. I've enjoyed meeting you and hanging out. We've been hanging out the last couple days, so I think it's a good time.
Yeah, make sure you check out. We have also done another interview, so make sure you check out my interview on his channel as well.
Yep.
I'm going to put all of his information down in the description, so make sure you check out the channel. All right, that does it. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you really like the video, make sure you subscribe. And until the next strange adventure, keep making your own.
Oh, I like that.